Okay, good morning. Today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction and how it works in our life. This is a part 2 call. Since we spoke in the last call, one or two things have happened which could be termed as so-called bad, but perhaps it could be good, because everything is vibration in this world. Every event is a vibration. Thought is a vibration. And the law of attraction is all about, really, if you read all the famous books on it, it's all about you attract to you that which you think or feel. So, Danny, you had a situation with a car. Perhaps you can share about that, in inverted commas, bad situation. What happened to you?
Well, it's a bittersweet thing, really. I've been talking about this car that I wanted and that I got through law of attraction. And the long and short of it is that I made a vision board I wanted a brand new car, a Mazda 3, and I wanted a green one, but they don't come in green, not this year's model. They did last year, but not this year, and I wanted a new one. So on my board went a blue Mazda 3. Anyway, lo and behold, 3-4 months later, I've got a car that's very similar, and it's blue, and it's absolutely fabulous. It's a Toyota, but it looks even better, I think, than the Mazda 3, and I'm really happy with it. And I'm driving along, and every time I see the green version of this car, I'm green with envy, because I'd rather have the green one. But I count my blessings. Anyway, there's a few little marks on the bonnet, so I go and have it resprayed last Thursday, and didn't have the car for 3 days, and I go and pick it up, and my car looks great. So I drive up the road, and 12 minutes later, like on the way home from having it resprayed, and I'm worried about dust settling on the paint, whether it's totally rock hard or not yet, someone runs into the back of me and completely ruins the back end of the car. And I'm thinking, this is just unbelievable. And the last few days I've been lying in bed at night thinking about the insurance company and what they've said, and they basically said it was a total loss because it was a lot more damage than met the eye. They're going to rather total it than repair it, so they're going to pay me off for this car. And I've sort of been swinging between disbelief, but there's been this niggling thing in my mind that I always kept looking at the green car, and I wasn't, I wanted a green car initially, but I settled for the blue one because it didn't come in green, this model. Anyway, so law of attraction, I'm smiling about this, although it's been a couple of days of upheaval and hassle, and I haven't been really happy about it. But the more I think about it and reflect upon it, the more I realize I wanted a green one. So now when I'm looking at replacement cars, I'm looking at only green ones. You get what you wish for, I think, no matter what. So be prepared for some of those experiences to be not necessarily desirable. That's all I can say.
So bad things can happen to good people then?
What's bad? Yeah, exactly. I mean, what is bad? Like, if I wanted a green car and I got a blue one, and I keep envying the green, looking at the green one out of the corner of my eye whenever I see it go by, and think, oh, I really love this car mechanically and everything, but I do wish it was green. And when I had my bonnet resprayed, I inquired about having the whole car resprayed, and it was just too expensive to have a proper job done. It was going to be about $7,000. So I decided to just stick with the blue. And now my car's been written off, and, I'll be paid by the insurance company of the guy that did this, but it's, I'll be looking for a green car. So the irony, sweet irony of it all, what do you do? I guess I'm just, I wanted green and I got green. And I remember thinking when I was thinking, oh, I love that green colour, thinking, be really careful that you don't, you've got this car now, be happy with it. But I really wanted green. And now it looks like I'm through one way or another, I'm going to get the green one.
So, okay, you're going to get the green one through the law of attraction, but the law of attraction has brought the accident for you to get the car you really want.
Yes, it could be that I'm completely deluding myself by thinking there was definitely a reason for this, because I think sometimes we might do that. We might, you know, look to spiritual things to make us feel better and put band-aids on things and soften the blows of life. But, even if that is the case, it does make one feel better. And I feel okay about it now because I'll get the green one. So, But yeah, law of attraction, it works. Be careful what you wish for, because the way you get it might not be the way you expect to get it.
Right. Well, I was talking earlier on that, sometimes when these challenges come up against us, the car, the accident, or, in my case, some years ago, I missed a ferry crossing from UK to Spain because I bought a car from a Spanish person and drove it down from Scotland, and car just failed to work. The clutch went wrong, and it was at that time where I was working on the power of gratitude, and I was actually grateful that the car kind of didn't work, and we missed a ferry, and that's hard to take that on board when because you want to get across, and you're going to miss the ferry, and my God, am I ever going to get back? I thought, well, it hasn't worked, so I thought I'm going to just be grateful for this. Maybe there's a good reason for it, And I remember my mum at the time when she was alive, and she says, you're going to miss your ferry because you've got to get a car fixed. Well, I'm just feeling grateful. She thought I was crazy, really crazy. She thought, how can you be grateful for something that's, not going your way? And I just thought, I'm going to be grateful. I mean, I can either choose to be angry about it, which I was initially, but I thought, no, I'm going to spend more time being on the gratitude side. And then I heard in the news the following day about this ferry crossing, and the boat had huge problems. There was leakages coming into the main area where the cars were. Apparently it was this massively turbulent crossing on that particular day, which I couldn't believe. It was actually on the news.
It wasn't the Titanic, was it? Sorry.
No, it was. It's some years ago. It could have been. It was about 20. It's about 20 years ago. But I always remember that. But I was expecting, perhaps, and it may not be true, but everything happens for a reason. And expressing gratitude for when things don't go your way. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned to you before, you had that someone hit the back of your car. Maybe a week later you could have carried on with that car and had a terrible accident, or we just don't know, do we? We don't know why or how things happen. We say our vibration attracts these things, but I would also say that gratitude is a vibration. Gratitude is a positive vibration, and it's something that is easily overlooked when life gives you all, throws crap at you, shit,
Yeah. I think also that trust is a really good thing. If things happen like this, and because I've been tossing and turning the last few nights thinking about what to, strategy with the insurance company. Do I want them to repair it? Do I want them to pay me out? If they pay me out, will they pay me market value? And is that, I got quite a good deal on the car. Will I be able to get another car with that amount? And I just kept having to remind myself, just trust. This has happened for a reason. Whether it's that I want a green car or whether it's because that car was not the right car for us, I don't know. But just trust. Because it's always after the fact and later that we look back and think, that's why that happened.
Yeah, hindsight is a good thing, but sometimes you need time to look back and think, now I understand why that happened.
I think we can remind ourselves of that when these things happen and think, hang on, there could be a very good reason, and just trust that will reveal itself.
And this is the thing, maybe you can answer, Kaz, because you're very much into spirit, is perhaps some people who work with the law of attraction do it from, I'm attracting this is me, and I'm creating it from my thoughts. And perhaps there's another element, our spiritual side, that sees a bigger picture and is trying to sort of direct you in a different way. It's like you could call it being spiritually guided, not just you trying to control the whole process of life through law of attraction and thinking thoughts. So, is there an element of working with spirit, or some people say work with God, if you like?
I think it's difficult because we're asking ourselves to trust in something we can't see, tangibly see, like, we see each other, we're solid. It's hard for us, as we've never been taught anything about this, to just trust that, what we want is being orchestrated by an invisible force. So, but Danny raised, both of you actually raised some good points. I mean, gratitude, like say you wanted, I don't know, you were doing law of attraction for, let's say, 250,000, and then you win £25. You were being asked to be grateful for that. But, but sometimes that's difficult because it's not what you want. So to be able to be grateful for, say, the £25, it's hard, really.
Because you wanted 250 or 250,000, and you say, where is my stuff? It hasn't turned up. Oh, this law of attraction doesn't work. Waste of time, a scam.
But isn't that where you sort of go, all right, well, thank you for giving me the £25. You have responded, but not in the way I wanted, and perhaps that could be that I don't, this is not what I need. That you or it is, or ourselves on a much higher level, are much more aware of what we really do need, and we don't need £250,000 at the moment, because if we got it, this would happen or that would happen, and what we need to do now is keep sight of this and that and the other, or work on another area of our lives that doesn't have to do with money.
It's hard though. It's a really valid point. But it's hard, isn't it? If you're doing all your vision boards, you're thinking the thoughts, and that leads on to settling, doesn't it? I mean, like you said, you wanted the green car, but you went for the blue.
Yeah.
Is it fear that makes us think, oh, well, okay, I got the car, it's just not the right colour, but
I'll settle for it.
Yeah, exactly. You see all these things about law of attraction. You see, create your vision board, do this, do that. But we're humans. We're trained to think thoughts in a certain way. And fear.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we do think very left brain. We're very left brain in that. If we could be more right brain, for example, I have this awareness that I don't always remember it, but I often do, and that is that, okay, so what's going to happen now is I'll take it to a repair person, and I'll meet a really valuable friend that I never would have met if I hadn't had this accident, that there's something else going to shoot off of this. Something's going to happen that wouldn't have happened otherwise. My course has been slightly changed. I believe that probably 90% of the time. I forget it sometimes, and when I'm have a ball my eyes out because this has happened to my car that's just been freshly painted. But when I really reflect on it, I think, there is always something else guiding me, and whether that's outside of me or a higher part of myself, I don't know. But if you've asked for 250,000 and you get 25, it might be just a small acknowledgement. Yes, I've heard you. That's why the 25 is in there. You've got a win of some kind. I've heard you. I'm acknowledging your request, and that it's not the right moment or time for that, and or it's on the way. Whatever it is that you really need is on the way to you, and I think that requires just faith.
That's what it is. I mean, a lot of law of attraction is that
Trust.
Belief or faith, because if you got the 25 quid, you can say, wow, the law of attraction is working because money's coming into my life. Because the law of attraction doesn't know the difference between £1 million or $1 million and $25, And if you say, wow, this is beginning to happen, okay, not the way I thought it would happen, but it's happening bit by bit. What are you doing? What's your vibrational state? It's you're kind of open. You're kind of semi-excited about it. But there's another person that says, oh, only $25 has shown up. This isn't working. What happens to your vibration? It shuts down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was the one that got the 25 might be going, this is a sign that I'm being acknowledged and things are going to go my way. Exactly. It's how you perceive it, isn't it? And
so I wonder where the next $25 will come from, obviously I want 250,000, but I wonder where the next one's coming. You know what? And I might spend this $25 on a special gift because things are working in my favour. You see how vibration, that sounds different from this doesn't work. I've done all this visualization. I've only got $25 in the last 2 months. This is not working, and then suddenly, end of story, isn't it?
Well, no, there are people that would go, oh, I got the $25. This is the universe telling me that I should spend this 25 on lottery tickets because then I'll have a better chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to say was again, we're still being asked to trust, aren't we? Trust in an invisible force. I mean, whether you believe it or not, we're all connected, you know. You can't get away from that, you know, at all. We are all connected. But it's a vibration we choose to be connected to. That's the secret of it all.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many vibrations that we can connect to. If we're all of the thought that, you know, oh, that won't happen to me, and you're working on your vision board, but, you know, for that 10 minutes, half an hour a day, but the rest of the day you're not working on it, you're thinking negatively, then it's not going to work, is it? I mean, because the main thought is your main vibration. You know, whether you believe it or not, it's true. So whatever, you know, you'll know how you're thinking by what you're attracting. I mean, that's the best gauge ever.
Including people, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people do law of attraction for half an hour. I mean, that's it, I'm done now, and now I want that car to come or that house. Where perhaps law of attraction is an ongoing process, or working with you, let's say, connected with spirit. It's not just half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. It's constantly working with that vibration, isn't it?
See, I wouldn't say it's working. I'd say it's just trusting. Like knowing what you want, firstly, which is really hard for a lot of people, knowing what they want and being able to actually pinpoint those things that they really, really, really want. And then the next bit is just trusting that once you know what you want, it's clear in your mind, then there's no other way but except to have that situation or those people or that job or whatever, and then just knowing it will happen because you're so aware of it, you're attracting it. It's like you're a magnet.
Again, it's asking them to trust, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, why don't we wrap up because we're coming up to the 20-minute mark. I want to keep obviously these calls as we can, sort of around about 20 minutes. But in summary, I mean, from what I'm getting from this is the importance of trusting and knowing that you're working with something higher than you. It's not just you. And when things don't go the way that you hope them to go, is to perhaps be grateful, even though it's not going the way you want it to go. Maybe there's a bigger picture. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm getting from it.
I'd like to discuss that next time, is the bigger picture, and that people with law of attraction, they want to attract certain things or certain people into their lives, and they're very specific about it. But when we don't get exactly what we wanted, it might be that that's not what we need, and there is another force at play.
Sounds good. Okay, shall we wrap up now?
Yeah, thank you both.
Okay, speak on the next one. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay.